Hey guys, Joshua David here. Just tracking a few things here. Anthony Blinken, he went to Russia, or sorry, he went to Ukraine for an emergency meeting, and things are ramping up there to a point that pretty sure there's going to be a war coming pretty quick. We have to understand that um, Russia has 100,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. And I mean, he already has Crimea, right? But this one's different because NATO's involved. NATO doesn't want him to do it. I believe the United States does want him to do it because you don't hear anything from the media, in American media. They're not saying that this is about to happen. They're not, step by step coming up with this real time media coverage, right? Like they're not doing that at all. Biden's not going to the podium saying, Russia, you just can't do this. There's going to be consequences. He's not saying none of that stuff, right? Not that we'd really expect it from Biden because he's pretty much failing at everything, but, you would expect any normal president to stand up to this kind of thing and make boundaries and have a red line or whatever you want to call it. But that's just not happening. Now, NATO and the European Union are very much involved in this. Russia wants NATO to basically change a lot, too much. It's not possible. They want them to change, or they don't want Ukraine to become a NATO member. And, America's in talks with that, saying, well, we can't really, expect that to happen. NATO's countries are kind of surrounding Russia. And Russia's saying, you know what? Like Russia doesn't have enough people. That's why he doesn't have enough people in his nation. He wants to create the Soviet Union again, right? So that's kind of his deal. But he sees this as an event that he can take control of because you got Biden who's doing nothing. He's failed at Afghanistan. I mean, the list goes on with this guy. And he knows that Biden's like, I can get away with quite a bit more than I could have with Trump. That's a fact, right? And that's true. He can. He sees it. He sees that Brandon doesn't do anything and is just taking a back seat. But then you have the European Union. Now, this is super important. The European Union, they want the pipeline. The Germany wants Russia's pipeline, okay? And in this whole process. And they want control. And not only that, they want to emerge out of here, this event to happen so that more events happen when it comes to war. And I believe that they're going to take a stand in a point of creating, well, it's not a country, right? So it's many countries. So America's gone. They were the big brother to take care of all the problems around the world. They've been doing it for many, many years, right? Biden comes in, totally fails. Well, we got NATO over here, who's a multicultural, one world, you can say. It's the start of a one world government. This is what's going to happen. Jesus told us that there's going to be famine and pestilence, war and rumors of wars, but it says, nation will rise against nation. So I believe that this event is the event that I've been talking about, how people are, they don't care about COVID anymore, but they still have to get you to be fearful, right? So in order to do so, I believe that this event, and I don't know this 100%, but I do believe that this is what's going to spark NATO being put on a pedestal, taking care of Russia. Russia's the bad guy, right? Supposedly, they're a superpower. They have nuclear weapons. They have a lot of influence. They're in Syria. They're in so many different. Got their fingers into everything. They're really buddy with China. So they feel like they have the power right now. Well, NATO has another idea of how things are going to go. Okay, I believe that NATO is going to take power from the world. I believe they're going to just take over this situation. They're going to claim themselves as, like the leader and the power of the world. And, they're eventually going to put themselves on a pedestal where the whole world's going to say, wow, they took care of this situation, right? And they're not going to, America is in NATO, right? But they're not going to focus on America, They're going to focus on NATO. That's what they're going to focus on. They're going to make NATO the big brother of the world who's going to take care of things. But first, I believe that there's going to be turmoil, and it's going to affect your day-to-day life eventually, but it's going to spiral out of control. It might even be a World War III. I don't know, like what you want to call it, but it's going to affect supply chains. It's going to affect everything. It might even affect your country. It might affect our day-to-day, because NATO has an idea. I believe the Antichrist is here already, and I believe NATO knows it, and I believe that it's going to usher in the Antichrist, because people, they're going to be scared again. It's hard to explain, but when war happens and it's bigger than way over across the world, and it starts entering your day-to-day life, people are going to get sick of it. I believe it's going to be a long stretch thing that's just going to affect everybody. And then what's going to happen? People are going to get sick of it. They're going to say, you know what? We need some order around here. We need structure. And like they were going to take your rights away, like they already took some away, but they don't have to take them away if a big event happens. And I've been saying that for a long time. Another event is coming that's going to beat out COVID, because no one's scared of COVID anymore. That was the start to start some infrastructure. Now there's going to be a big event that's going to affect other things in our life. Now they're going to say, well, we can take care of you. We can fix all these things, but we have to have this one world government. And in order to do so, we're going to have to take a few of your rights away. But you know what? You're going to be happy. Don't worry, because there's going to be what? Peace and safety. What does Jesus say? When they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes. That's what I believe is going to happen. There's going to be war, screaming war, and the world's going to get tired of it. And they already are, but this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, when the people are going to say, you know what, we're tired of living in a world like this. We need order. We need structure. We can't turn the United States anymore because Brandon ain't doing his job, and who else? You got that's going to create Russia, China doing their things, and they already have been. So NATO is the one that's going to be the day saver, so to say. But they're going to do it to be able to affect your rights. And they don't have to take your rights away anymore. What they're going to be doing is they're going to do exactly what they do, and then you're going to give your rights away. You're going to give them away. Because maybe not everybody, right? But there's going to be some fights here and there to keep rights and all that. Keep your country, all that. But the majority of people, they're going to say, you know what? We need structure. We need order. We're sick of the deaths. We're sick of all these things affecting our lives. And guess what, guys? They're going to have somebody already, and his name's the Antichrist. And he's going to be there, and he's going to be saying the same stuff that most people want. The world wants someone to be controlled, the world wants to be controlled. They don't care about countries anymore. Matter of fact, they're kind of infatuated about the idea. Christians know that this is wrong, and it's going to usher in the tribulation. But the world doesn't know that. The world doesn't care. They've rejected God, So when you reject God, what do you get? The opposite. The Antichrist. He's coming. He's here already, I believe. And this Ukraine and Russia thing is going to spark something great. That's going to bring NATO to the forefront and be the big brother to start off with. But then he's going to eventually go into the Antichrist. NATO is going to be part of one of the kings. The European Union is going to be, NATO is going to probably be the army of the kings, right? To be able to do as they please. European Union going to be one of the kings, maybe even more than one, But these things are going to spark soon. And I was wondering, and I've been thinking about what exactly is going to happen, because they have to make you fearful. They have to be able to advance what they want to do by 2030, which is only 8 years away. 7 if you look at it, a different way. But it's something big is going to come here. I just know it. And not only is it going to come, it's going to be here really quick, because we've waited too long now for people being not fearful anymore. So I just say, give your life to Jesus. You know, what else can you do? You can't do anything but give your life to Jesus. Stand up for righteousness where you can, but pray and give your life to the Lord. And not only give your life to the Lord, you guys, just release everything about your life, you know, release the world, you know. Of course, you still have to work and you have to do all these things and whatever, but Jesus wants you to continue, but he wants you to not be for the world. He wants you to be for him because he's coming. And when he comes, he's setting up his kingdom here, okay? And he's going to judge the world. And you don't want to be on the wrong side of that. Trust me. And I also believe that these events that are going to happen are going to bring a lot of people to Christ. And he's going to need us to tell them about God. You know, fear works in a couple different ways, okay? They can use fear against you for you to obey, okay? Well, fear works in a different way too. God uses fear. And he uses fear for you to open your eyes and to see how the world is and to ultimately make a truthful, rightful decision to follow the Lord. So praise him for that, because fear doesn't just work in one way. And it opens our eyes. It gets us asking questions. Why are we living like this, right? And never mind that, the Bible's been here for a very long time. And we've all read it. Not all of us, but we've heard scriptures here and there, and we've heard of Jesus, and, you know, and then there's going to be enough Christians here to say, hey, wait a minute, this is a sign that Jesus told us about, right? Well, it just proves it. And we're getting smarter in technology. We're getting smarter in everything. But we're also getting smarter in how we react to people. We're getting smarter in Bible prophecy. And we're able to talk about what is right. You know, we're able to tell people what the truth is and back it up with the word. So anyways, God bless you guys. I will talk to you later, and I hope you have a great week. Okay, bye for now.